Will the House come to order, Mr. Clerk?
Aloha and good afternoon. Today's invocation will be delivered by Representative Lauren Matsumoto. Will the members who wish to participate please rise?
Before I start my invocation, I just wanted to say that as a House, I think we have to make a decision on whether we're going to sit or stand. Every single day, Brian tells us to rise, and then we all say sit, so we're going to have to think about that. So for most of my time in the legislature, we stood for every invocation, and just in the last 2 years, we started sitting. And, you know, I think we sit all day. We all need a little bit of exercise. I know I sure do. But in all sincerity, you know, the invocation is a time to really reflect on what we're doing and having that deeper moment. So with that said, for my invocation today, I started reflecting on my time in the legislature. This is my 12th session and in the House. So during that time, I got married, I went back to school twice, and I had 2 kids. And it's perfect timing that on the day of my invocation, my 2 children have a Teacher Institute Day. So they're joining me up in the gallery today. I have my son Noah and my daughter Noelle. And every year I've been in the legislature, my why has shifted slightly depending on what was happening in the world and the issues that our state was facing. But ever since I've had my children, the one constant that hasn't changed is my commitment to them and all of the next generation of children in Hawaii. So if you can all just join me in a moment of prayer. Heavenly Father, we come before you today with hearts full of gratitude for the blessings you have bestowed upon us. We thank you for the gift of life, for the love of family and friends, and for the opportunity to serve our community. As we gather here today, we lift up our keiki. May they always feel loved and cherished, and may they grow in wisdom and in favor with you and with others. Lord, we also lift up our work in the legislature. We pray for wisdom and discernment as we make decisions that impact the lives of our constituents. Help us to be guided by your truth and your love, and to always seek justice and mercy in all that we do. May your presence be here with us today and always guiding us and leading us in your ways. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Thank you very much, Representative Matsumoto. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Ayu,
Excused.
Mr. Alcos, Ms. Amato, Ms. Bellotti, Mr. Chun, Ms. Cochran, Mr. Evslin, Mr. Ganadin, Mr. Garcia, Mr. Garrett,
Excused.
Mr. Gates, Mr. Hashem, Mr. Holt, Ms. Hussey Burdick, Ms. Ichiyama, Mr. Ilagan, Ms. Kahaloa, Ms. Capella,
Excused.
Mr. Kila, Ms. Kitagawa, Mr. Kobayashi, Mr. Kong, Ms. Lachika, Ms. Lamosao, Ms. Lowen, Ms. Martin, Ms. Martinez, Mr. Matayoshi, Ms. Matsumoto, Mr. Miyake, Ms. Mizuno, Ms. Morikawa, Ms. Nakamura, Mr. Nakashima, Mr. Nishimoto, Mr. Onishi, Ms. Peruso,
Excused.
Mr. Pirik, Ms. Poepoe, Mr. Quinlan, Mr. Sayama, Ms. Souza, Mr. Takayama,
Excused.
Ms. Takenouchi, Mr. Tam,
Excused. Oh, he's present.
Mr. Tarnas, Mr. Todd,
Excused.
Mr. Ward, Mr. Woodson, Mr. Yamashita, Mr. Speaker.
Present.
Mr. Speaker, 45 members are present, 6 are excused.
Members, on item 2, reading of the journal, Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, may this matter be deferred.
So ordered. Item 3, Mr. Clerk, are there any messages from the governor?
Mr. Speaker, there are none.
Item 4, Mr. Clerk, are there any Senate communications?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, we're in receipt of a communication transmitting the noted Senate bill having passed third reading in the Senate.
Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the Senate bill laying on the clerk's desk pass first reading by title.
Representative Garcia.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
All those in favor say aye. All opposed say no. The motion is carried. Members, are there any introductions? Representative Ilagan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would love to introduce to you my hardworking and dedicated ladies in our office. Starting to the right, if we could have you stand up. My office manager, Nikki Watts, Carrie Soshur, Boram Shin, and Krista Ayoki. Welcome to your House of Representatives.
Representative Evslin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to welcome to the gallery today members of the Shanti Alliance Club from Island School, led by my brother, and please rise when I say your name, Nathaniel Evslin. Jude Washburn is a student, Max Evslin, who's my nephew, Ilihia Ventura, Mahina Damaron, and Emily Rockpon. Welcome to your House of Representatives.
Representative Matsumoto.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd also like to introduce my staff who's in the gallery. We have my caucus manager, Sharon Klaproth, my office manager, Sanwana Soriano. We have my legislative aide, Sierra Lynn. We have another legislative aide, Aiden Waldrop. I have my intern, Megan Doherty. And as I mentioned in my invocation, I have my son, Noah Matsumoto, who's 6 years old. Hi, Noah. And my daughter, Noelle, who had just turned 4. Hi, Noelle. If we can welcome them to the House of Representatives.
Representative Ilagan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. There's also one last introduction I would like to make. He is a constituent of mine, son of Damian Tucker, Hayden Tucker. Could you please rise? Welcome to your House of Representatives.
Are there additional introductions, members? Okay, if not, we're on item 5. Representative Nakamura.
Mr. Speaker, I move to adopt Standing Committee Report numbers 481-24 through 620-24 as listed on pages 1 through 37, and that the accompanying House bills as may be amended pass second reading and/or be referred to their designated committees.
Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
All right, any discussion, members, beginning with SCR 481 on page 1. Next page, 482, 483, 484. Representative Perrick,
In support,
please proceed.
I'd like to thank this body for introducing a measure that increases the pay of teachers.
Further discussion? If not, 485. Next page, 486, 487. Representative Poi Poi.
486, a ruling on a potential conflict of interest.
Please state your potential conflict.
My spouse is a county firefighter.
Okay, Representative, the chair's ruling is that there is no conflict, and this is in effect through Sunny Dai.
Thank you.
Further discussion on 486? If not, 487, 488, 489. Next page, 490.
Mr. Speaker,
Representative Capella,
489
please proceed.
with reservations.
So ordered. Here on back on 490. 491. Representative Burdick.
Reservations, please.
So ordered. Representative Perrick.
No vote.
So ordered. Representative Ward.
Speaker, in support, I rise with a brief comment.
Please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, my concern is this is very good in one sense because it uses interested, already owned property, which will, with the right size, be able to build another one, and this gives you the money to do that. That is great. It's using, we don't have to buy new land. We just incentivize those who have land, who can build and can rent and increase the housing supply. My reservation, no, that's not the right word. My hesitation is that the incentives are not big enough. Case in point, Mr. Speaker. This will give you, for example, a $300,000 loan at 6%. 6% is almost market rate, and if you've got 6% loan, you're going to have to pay $1,800 a month. And if we look at the market rent for a two-bedroom in Lahaina at $2,450, that gives you about $600 net. But that's not really net because you got to pay GET tax. You may be inclined to have repairs. You may be who knows what they're going to do with the TAT tax with these things. The point is, it's a pretty slim one. And generally speaking, entrepreneurially, people don't invest money unless they're 60 or 70% sure that they're going to make money. This is probably squeaky clean, okay? If you got a lot of money and you want to do good, you probably will do this. But for those who want to be incentivized, Mr. Speaker, I would suggest there's enough wiggle room in the interest rate. If you could pull that one down, I think you would get a lot more participation because we need housing. We need housing in Maui. We need it fast. And this is a good bill. It just needs to be tweaked a little bit better. And I know the man who put it together is a businessman, and I'm sure he's listening intently. Thank you, sir.
Representative Evslin.
In support.
Please proceed.
Thank you. This measure would, through HHFDC, would loan money out to CDFIs at 1% interest and allow the CDFIs to reloan that out to qualified individuals at between 1% and 6% interest rates. The intention here is that many families simply won't qualify for financing nowadays, especially with high interest rates. And by providing that money through CDFIs, these are financial institutions which are dedicated to support working class families and communities. This ensures that working class households can get access to capital to build an ADU, provide family for housing members, or possibly to get rental income to afford a mortgage. So I think this is a good measure. Thank you.
Is there further discussion on 491? If not, 492. Representative Perrick.
No vote.
So ordered. 493. Representative Perrick.
No vote.
So ordered. 494. 495, 496. Next page, 497, 498. Representative Perrick.
No vote.
So ordered. 499, 500. Next page, 501.
Excuse me.
Representative Capella.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sorry, on 500.
Please proceed.
No vote.
So ordered. Okay, we're back on 501. Representative Kong.
Thank you, Speaker. With reservations. With reservations.
So ordered. Reservations. Representative Garcia.
Same request.
So ordered. Representative Tam.
On 500.
500. Okay, let's finish 501. Okay. Any discussion on 501? If not, 500. Representative Tam.
Reservations.
So ordered. Okay, we're back on 502. Representative Garcia.
No vote.
So ordered. 503. Representative Garcia.
No vote.
So ordered. 504. Next page, 505. Representative Garcia.
Reservations.
So ordered on 505. 506. 507. 508. Next page, 509. 510. 511. 512. Next page, 513. 514. Representative Capella.
On 513.
Please proceed.
Reservations.
So ordered. Okay, we're back on 514, 515. Next page, 516, 517, 518, 519. Next page, 520, 521, 522, 523. Next page, 524, 525, 526, 527. Next page, 528, 529, 530, 531. Next page, 532, 533. Representative Perrick.
No vote.
So ordered. 534, 535. Representative Perrick.
No vote.
So ordered. Representative Garcia.
Same request.
So ordered. Okay, next page, 536. Representative Perrick.
No vote.
So ordered. Representative Garcia.
Same request.
So ordered. 537, 538, 539. Next page, 540, 541. Representative Garcia.
No vote.
So ordered. 542, 543. Next page, 544. Representative Burdick.
Reservations, please.
So ordered. 545.
Speaker.
Representative Poi Poi.
On the previous one, 544 with reservation.
544, reservations. So ordered. Representative Capella.
Same request.
So ordered. Further discussion on 544? If not, 545, 546, 547. Next page, 548, 549, 550, 551. Next page, 552, 553. Representative Garcia,
552, please.
please proceed.
No vote.
Okay, so ordered. We're on 552. Representative Town.
Just reservations.
So ordered. Further discussion. Representative Ward.
No vote, please.
So ordered. Representative Lowen.
With reservations.
So ordered. Representative Matsumoto.
Same request.
So ordered. Representative Capella.
With reservations.
So ordered. Further discussion on 552. If not, 553, 554. Representative Burdick.
Reservations, please.
So ordered. Representative Capella.
Same request.
So ordered. Okay, 555. Representative Souza.
No vote, thank you.
So ordered. Representative Lowen.
Sorry, at the appropriate time, can we go back to 554
Okay, let's finish 555. If not, 554. Representative Lowen.
with reservations?
So ordered. Okay, we're on page 21, 556, 557, 558, 559. Representative Capella,
On 558
please proceed.
with reservations.
So ordered. Okay, 559. Next page, 560, 561, 562, 563. Next page, 564, 565, 566, 567. Representative Garcia.
No vote.
So ordered. Okay, next page, 568. Representative Garcia.
No vote.
So ordered. 569, 570, 571. Next page, 572, 573, 574. Representative Ward,
Speaker, no vote, brief comment.
please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I was told during the hearing that one of the boaters who is probably going to be hit by this, or recreational businesses, there's millions of dollars to be lost by this. My community is a ocean community, Hawaii Kai. There's Kona and there's others. We are an island state. We have the ocean, and we should make good use of it. We don't want to take over the advantage of it, but we don't want to put these guys under our thumb and smash them out. So if we have an economy that's struggling, which is UH calls anemic, we don't want to squash these small businesses. And this bill, according to witnesses, shall do that. Thank you.
Representative Perrick,
In opposition.
please proceed.
In congruency with the representative from Hawaii Kai, one testifier mentioned that the economy could decrease by $170 million if this bill were to pass, and it could hurt the economy. Thank you.
Representative Town.
Just reservations.
So ordered. Representative Lowen.
Reservations.
So ordered. Representative Matsumoto.
Same request.
So ordered. Representative Garcia.
No vote.
So ordered. Representative Burdick.
Reservations.
So ordered. Representative Akos.
Reservations.
So ordered. Further discussion on 574. If not, 575. Next page, Representative Capella.
575, no vote,
Yes.
please.
So ordered. Okay, next page, 576, 577. Representative Perrick,
No vote.
so ordered. 578. Representative Perrick,
No vote.
so ordered. Representative Garcia,
No vote.
so ordered. Okay, 579. Representative Perrick,
No vote.
so ordered. Next page, 580. 581. Representative Garcia.
No vote.
Okay, on 581, so ordered. 582. 583. Representative Perrick,
In opposition?
please proceed.
This bill would require the private sector to supply paid family leave for their employees. There's another bill that was introduced to this body that only requires the county and state employers to supply paid family leave for their employees. I'm in support of that bill, but I'm not in support of mandating the private sector to offer paid family leave for their employees.
Representative Kong,
With reservations.
so ordered. Representative Capella,
In strong support,
please proceed.
paid family leave is important to all workers across the state, not just state and county employees.
Representative Garcia,
No vote.
so ordered. Further discussion. Representative Ward,
Thank you, Speaker. A brief comment
Please proceed.
with support. Okay, it's about time that we have paid family leave, but it should be on the part of the employee, an option, opt in or opt out. The point is this, whoever you are, you're in it. I don't know if the amortization tables don't allow that, but generally America is a place of choice, and you choose to be in something or you choose to be out of it. And I think for starters, it would make this bill a little bit more robust if it was optional. Thank you.
Representative Alcos,
With reservations.
so ordered. Okay, is there further discussion on 583? If not, next page, 584, 585, 586. Representative Perrick,
In opposition?
please proceed.
There are only two genders, biologically born males and biologically born females. This bill encourages and protects gender-affirming care, which I don't believe is a good idea for our state.
Representative Kong,
No vote.
so ordered. Representative Lamasau,
With reservations.
so ordered. Representative Burdick,
In strong support.
please proceed.
As somebody who has a biology degree, who has actually studied gender and sex at an R1 research university, I must correct the factually inaccurate statements that have been made on this floor about there only being two genders. The science is very clear. Many studies, including a 2018 study by Horii et al., published in Diagnostic Gynecologic and Obstetric Pathology, 3rd edition, shows that many people with intersex parts have different XX and XY genotypes, concluding that chromosomes do not necessarily dictate what genitals you get. There are more than two genders found in nature, despite anyone's feelings about it. And transgender and intersex and non-binary humans not only exist, but they're a vibrant and appreciated addition to our society. Many indigenous cultures not only accept people who don't fit into the gender binary, but they honor them as sacred souls that transcend traditional gender roles. The 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution guarantees people of all genders, not just two genders, equal treatment and due process under the law. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I contend that it is not only our right, but it is our duty to pass this legislation. Thank you.
Representative Garcia,
In opposition?
please proceed.
Thank you. I took a class of biology in 10th grade, and I learned then that there is an X chromosome, there's a Y chromosome, there are special circumstances, of course, throughout nature, but nonetheless, 99.9% of the time, you got an X chromosome or a Y chromosome. It's basic science. Even the animals know it. I do want to talk about this bill from this angle. This bill is not attacking transgender people. And my no vote against this is not an attack on transgender people. It's simply saying we're talking about minors here, Mr. Speaker. Minors. It's just children. If you're an adult, this is a free country. You can live your life as you wish, dress as you wish, live as you wish. But this is children. This is child mutilation, to remove their gender parts at a young age. We don't even allow kids to purchase cigarettes until they're 21 years old, or alcohol, or join the service till they're 18, but yet for a gender transition, reassignment surgery, hormone therapy, chemical castration, this is okay. I mean, I think most families here in Hawaii, if they knew that all these people in here, Mr. Speaker, would vote yes on this, they would not be happy. No vote.
Representative Ward.
Mr. Speaker, no vote. And I know a study that proves the earth is flat and that the Holocaust didn't happen.
Representative Alcos.
No vote.
So ordered. Representative Quillen.
No vote.
So ordered. Further discussion? Representative Matsumoto.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With reservations
So ordered.
and permission to insert comments into the journal.
Yes, so ordered.
Thank you.
Representative Gates.
No vote.
So ordered. Representative Kila.
Reservations, Mr. Speaker.
So ordered. Representative Holt.
No vote, Mr. Speaker.
So ordered. Representative Perrick. Representative Perrick.
Thank you. In opposition again?
Second time, please proceed.
It says in Genesis 2 that God made male and female he created them. For us to be voting yes on this measure and to say that there's more than male and females, we're calling God a liar.
Okay, is there further discussion? Representative Bellotti.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In support with request to insert written
Please.
comments.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Okay, further discussion? If not, we're on 587. Next page, 588. Representative Perrick.
588, no vote.
588. So ordered. 589. Representative Perrick.
No vote.
So ordered. 590. 591. Next page, 592. 593. 594. 590. Representative Perrick.
594, no vote.
So ordered. 595. Representative Kitagawa.
No vote, please.
So ordered. Representative Matayoshi.
No vote, Mr. Speaker.
So ordered. Representative Kila.
No vote, Mr. Speaker.
No vote. So ordered. Representative Lamasao.
No vote, Speaker. Thank you.
So ordered. Representative Matsumoto.
Same request, and if I could have comments inserted into the journal.
So ordered. Representative Garcia.
No vote.
So ordered. Representative Ward.
Same request.
So ordered. Representative Alcos.
Same request.
So ordered. Representative Perrick.
No vote.
So ordered. Further discussion on 595? If not, next page, 596. Representative Perrick.
No vote.
So ordered. 597, 598, 599. Representative Garcia.
598, no vote.
So ordered on 598. Representative Ward. 598.
I'm 599.
Okay. Any discussion on 598? If not, 599. Representative Ward.
Mr. Speaker, in support,
Please proceed.
and with a comment that many people don't know that Hawaii Kai's got a lot of farmers. Henry Kaiser said there should be a breadbasket in the back, of which we have in Kamilanui Valley. They have a lot of cesspools. This bill is very relevant to them. And you know why I really like this bill? Because it's a pilot, Mr. Speaker. That should be more the theme of this body, so we don't do unintended consequences by locking things into the law. We just say, let's see if it works. This is a pilot program. I commend the author, and I think that should be for every deliberating body like this one, to do a pilot, see if it works, rather than lock it in and have unintended consequences, of which we never unlock things forever in too many cases. For that reason, Mr. Speaker, this is a very good bill. Thank you.
Okay, is there further discussion? Representative Nakamura.
Mr. Speaker, I'd just like to disclose that my home in Kapa'a is connected to a cesspool.
Is that a request for a ruling on a conflict? The chair's ruling is that there is no conflict, and the ruling applies through Sanidai.
Thank you.
Okay, further discussion? If not, next page, 600. Representative Kila.
Mr. Speaker, with reservations and brief comment.
So ordered. Please proceed.
The concern regarding HB 1892 as it affects to lessees on the Department of Fire and Homelands, as they do not outright own their property. So until the department can hopefully find a plan to help these homeowners, and with reservations.
Representative Garcia.
No vote.
So ordered. Okay, 601, Representative Alcos.
Reservations.
Okay, on 600, so ordered. Representative Ward.
Same request.
So ordered. Representative Matsumoto.
With reservations.
So ordered. Representative Gates.
With reservation.
So ordered. Further discussion on 600? If not, 601, 602. Representative Bellotti.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In support, request to insert written comments.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Okay, next page, 603, 604, 605, 606. Representative Perrick.
No vote.
So ordered. Next page, 607, 608. Representative Garcia.
Reservations.
So ordered. Representative Mizuno.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ruling of a potential conflict of interest.
Please state your potential conflict.
My husband is a statewide homeless coordinator.
All right, Representative, the chair's ruling is not a conflict and it remains in effect through Sunny Day.
And can that apply to SCR 609 as well?
Yes, it will.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, further discussion on 608. If not, 609, 610. Next page, 611, 612. Representative Poi Poi.
611, reservations.
Okay, on 611, reservations, so ordered. Further discussion, Representative Capella,
On 611,
please proceed.
no vote.
So ordered. Representative Burdick,
Reservations, please.
reservations, so ordered. Representative Amato.
Thank you, Speaker. A no vote, please.
Okay, so ordered. Representative Gandon,
Reservations.
so ordered. Further discussion, Representative Martin,
Reservations as well. Thank you.
so ordered. Representative Matsumoto,
In support. And
proceed.
permission to insert comments into the journal.
so ordered.
Thank you.
Further discussion on 611, if not, 612. Representative Cochran,
No vote.
on 612, so ordered. Representative Capella,
No vote, please.
so ordered.
Same-
Representative Burdick,
Same request.
so ordered. Representative Mato,
Reservations, please.
okay, so ordered. Okay, it's Representative Poi Poi,
No vote.
so ordered. Okay, is there further discussion on 612? If not, 613. Representative Bellotti,
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In support, request to insert written comments.
so ordered.
And just one brief comment. I want to thank the Chair of Housing for moving this bill along and making the amendments that he did in this bill to make it an even better bill. Thank you.
Representative Perrick,
In opposition.
please proceed.
My understanding is that this bill would raise taxes. Hawaii has some of the highest taxes in the nation. My goal is to help decrease taxes. Thank you.
Okay, further discussion? If not, 614. Representative Garcia.
613, no vote.
So no vote, so ordered. Representative Ward.
Same request.
No vote on 613, so ordered. Okay, we're on 614. Next page, Representative
614?
Capella. Yes, please proceed.
No vote.
So ordered. Okay, next page, 615, 616, 617. Representative Holt,
In opposition, Mr. Speaker.
please proceed.
I learned something new and surprising in the testimony and the hearing in our tourism hearing. When I had raised concerns that the State Foundation does not focus on the host culture, our Hawaiian culture, the executive director responded, and I quote, "I definitely admit that the State Foundation was built to exclude." So for those reasons, I'm in opposition.
Okay, is there further discussion? Representative Lamasau,
Same request.
so ordered. Representative Kila,
Mr. Speaker, no vote.
so ordered. Representative Ward,
No vote, please.
so ordered. Representative Garcia,
Same request.
so ordered. Representative Kong,
With reservations.
so ordered. Representative Gates,
No vote.
so ordered. Representative Gandin,
In support, Mr. Speaker.
please proceed.
I believe as the state and the legislature tries to re-articulate how we're going to be selling ourselves to the world, we're still a tourism-based economy, we need to figure out how we're going to support the existing programs that have traditionally been supported by the Hawaii Tourism Authority. I think for the vast majority of these programs, the appropriate housing agency is the State Foundation on Culture and the Arts. In regards to their support of culture, they have responded, I think, more than adequately to include numerous shows right across the street and throughout the state that have a variety of voices from historically underrepresented groups, including from Native Hawaiian communities. For those reasons, in support.
Representative Ward.
Second time, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the question is whether, if we're in a horse race, you want to have a Clydesdale versus a real racehorse stallion.
This is still in opposition, correct?
Yeah, exactly. Government does not know how to run things. HTA knows how to run things. They were so successful, we shut them, or we are, quote, shutting them down, shutting them, pulling them back. You want to give it to state culture and arts, which I have a PhD, they got PhDs all over the place. Those are not the kind of people that we want to have in control of who we are and what our identity is. HT has done a great job. Hawaii Visitors Bureau has done a great job. As I said, they've done such a job. We're trying to cool their jets a bit. But to transfer away these things, of which they've done a good job at, and particularly now marketing the Hawaiian culture, Malama Maui, Malama Big Island, et cetera, et cetera. Why do we want to do that? Why do we want to shift the chairs of the Titanic just for the sake of, well, we're doing our job. We're reactionary. Mr. Speaker, let's take into context the cultural subculture of each of these institutions. HTA is entrepreneurial, it's economic. The State Foundation of Culture and Art, here's some of the artistic, this is the things that they do, which they do well, but they're not into the tourism industry. A Clydesdale is a beautiful horse, but it can't run fast. A racehorse is what we need for these kinds of entities. Business people, people who think enough. And I know there's not very many business people on this floor, Mr. Speaker, and that's probably why we always side with the bureaucrats rather than with the small businesses, rather than with the entrepreneurs of this great state. For those reasons, Mr. Speaker, let's let the entrepreneurs go forward in the economic circles and let the Clydesdales and the bureaucrats stay back and mind the store as managers, not as leaders. Thank you.
Representative Quinlan.
In support, Mr. Speaker.
Please proceed.
I would like to point out to the members that the intent is not to take any grants that are related to tourism away from the Tourism Authority. Quite frankly, the concern is that under the current program, there are too many of these grants that are being awarded to wonderful organizations with great programs that I believe very strongly in my heart that the state should fund. Unfortunately, the nexus to tourism is quite weak or non-existent. There has been a lot of talk on this floor over the last couple of years, mostly from one corner over there, about the need for HTA to help us power our economic engine. This bill is an attempt to refocus our tourism authority on our economic engine for the betterment of all of us. Wow.
Representative Alcos.
With reservations.
So ordered. Further discussion on 617? If not, 618. Representative Holt.
In opposition, Mr. Speaker, and I'll just restate my comment that the director of the State Foundation said that I definitely admit the State Foundation was built to exclude the host culture. Thank you.
Okay, is there further discussion? Representative Lamasau.
Same request, Speaker.
So ordered. Representative Kila.
No vote, Mr. Speaker.
So ordered. Representative Ward.
Same request.
So ordered. Representative Garcia.
Same request.
So ordered. Representative Gates.
No vote.
So ordered. Okay, next page, 619. Representative Garcia.
Reservations.
So ordered. 620. Any discussion on 620 or any of the other measures? Representative Kong.
Yes, I didn't want to break your flow. Can we go back to STANCOM 506? Yeah.
506. Didn't we vote on that on Tuesday? Okay,
no.
let's go back to 506 on page 8.
Page 8, yes. No vote, please.
So ordered. All right, members, any further discussion Representative Matsumoto.
While we're doing it, can we go back to 486?
Okay, 496 on page 5. Representative Matsumoto.
Sorry, even further back, 486 on page 3.
486 on page 3. Representative Matsumoto.
Ruling on a potential conflict.
Please state your potential conflict.
My husband is a firefighter.
All right, the chair's ruling is that there is no conflict and it remains in effect through sunny day.
Thank you.
Okay, Representative Amato.
Thank you, Speaker. While we're jumping around, could we leap forward to 543, please?
Okay, members on 543 on page 17.
No vote, please.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Okay, is there further discussion before we take the vote? Members, this is a voice vote. All those in favor say aye. All opposed say no. The motion is carried. All right, members, we're on page 37. We have a motion on a short form measure. Representative Nakamura.
Mr. Speaker, I move to adopt Standing Committee Report number 621-24 as listed on page 37, and that House Bill number 407 as amended be recommitted to the Committee on Health and Homelessness.
Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
Members, is there any, this is a short form bill. Is there any discussion
Mr.
on this
Speaker.
measure? Representative Kobayashi, before your remarks, the chair would like to remind the members that pursuant to Chapter 387, Section 387 in Masons, a motion to recommit is subject to limited debate. So debate is limited to the propriety of the recommittal of House Bill 407. This is a procedural discussion on whether procedurally the measure should be recommitted or not recommitted. So with that, Representative Kobayashi.
Mr. Speaker, I have a procedural issue.
Please proceed.
I believe that
Are you in support or opposition?
I am in opposition.
Please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, this bill is to be recommitted back to the same committee from which it came, Health and Homelessness. I believe that this is an inappropriate committee referral. Now that this bill has new content, which it did not have at all before, it is a new bill. And as a new bill, it should have a different committee referral than back to its original committee. This bill now designates a specific chapter in HRS having to do with professional vocational licensing, which was absent in the original short form bill. It mentions midwives, birth attendants, doulas, lactation specialists, an Attorney General task force, and LRB study. And it says, among other things, that a person, quote, a person may practice midwifery without a license to practice midwifery if the person is, unquote, then followed by 2 pages. So on this basis, clearly, this bill is a new bill, and as a new bill, it deserves and necessitates a different committee referral other than just one committee. Thank you.
Representative Kitagawa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm in opposition to this recommittal.
Please proceed.
I'm in opposition to the recommittal of this short form bill because it goes against the process. The short form bill's contents were shared with committee members and the public just 2 days ago on Wednesday. And based on the proposed contents, as Representative previously had stated, it should go to 2 or more committee referrals instead of the single referral that is currently on the short form bill. Yesterday was the lateral filing deadline, which means that this short form bill will have missed the deadline should it have the multiple committee referrals that it should have. My concern is that this goes against transparency and full disclosure and opportunities for the community to weigh in on this issue. And for that reason, I'm in opposition of the recommittal.
Representative Matsuyoshi.
In opposition.
Please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, one of the reasons that this bill, this short form bill was used, the justification was a letter from the Attorney General to the Chair of Higher Ed, dated January 17th, 2024, responding to an email sent on January 15th, 2024. This letter is not a formal opinion. A formal opinion by the AG under HRS 28-3 would be highly instructive as per our Supreme Court. This is an informal advice letter, which does not hold that kind of weight. And I don't think, in my opinion at least, that it raises issues that are of such an emergency nature that it requires such an extraordinary procedural measure to bring up. The reason I bring up the dates of the letter and the date of the email is because this was about a week before bills were due. And it seems like from the letter contents at least, that this bill was not, or the concept was not being worked on during the 8 months of interim. And perhaps it was, it just doesn't seem like it. But interim would have been the more appropriate place to work on this and to bring it up in the normal course of things. Whereas right now it's being brought up as sort of an emergency measure as a short form bill, which I, again, just don't think is appropriate. If this is an emergency measure that needs to be introduced, I just don't see justification. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Bellotti.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In support and request to insert written comments, including the AG's letter that was presented to members of this committee, of this body, not just the requesting member of the Higher Education Committee.
So ordered.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Some brief comments. Mr. Speaker, this is a procedural motion, and we are following the procedures of this body. The proposed draft was shared in the same way that for House Bill 408, which we just passed with the committee at the time that we had the hearing for decision making. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, this is a proper procedure because, as you know, the re-referral process involves a re-referral process. The process now is to recommit to health and homelessness, and then the bill will be considered for re-referral, as I explained in the hearing. I do not think anyone is suggesting that it should only stay with the Health Committee, so I understand the concerns that folks are raising, but again, this is a procedural motion, and for this purpose, we have followed the procedures, followed the scripts that were provided by the Chief Clerk's office with the passage of a short form bill. And in fact, given the fact that we were given such late notice, it is precisely this kind of matter of this great importance where it should be re-referred in a way that it can be heard. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Is there further discussion? Representative Martin.
In opposition.
Please proceed.
I just wanted to say that we, as a committee member, we only got the text of that bill at the time that we had to vote. I understand, I have no problem with the contents of the bill, but my feeling is that the content of this bill, which was established in 2019, basically establishing licensure for midwives, has been very successful. Now there's 37 midwives that have been licensed since that time, including 9 since we didn't make any changes to that law last year. And when it sunsets, to that end, we have an auditor's report coming up in November, and midwives themselves who are subject to this licensure are working on redefining their scope of practice, expanding it to include other skills such as managing menopause. And this bill attempts to change that, amend that bill without their input, without input.
Point
from
of
the
order,
auditor's
Mr.
report.
Speaker.
Please state your point.
I believe this is supposed to be arguing about procedure and not the contents of the bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Martin, please confine your remarks.
So
to
I just
procedure.
mean the timing. I think it would be better managed next year. Thank you.
Representative Bellotti, second.
Mr. Speaker, thank you, second time. I would just again say, with respect to procedure, we have moved a number of short form bills, and again, as chair, I follow the directions and the script, and we provided the text to the members, all of the members, for both House Bill 407, House Bill 408, and previously last session for House Bill 406. So procedurally, I believe that it is proper that this be recommitted to the Health and Homelessness Committee and that then leadership to take up the re-referral process. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So further, Representative Matayoshi, second time.
Yeah, still in opposition. Another reason I brought up the date of the Attorney General's letter of January 17th, 2024, is that this was before session started. There was a bill going through that had a similar subject matter, at least, that could have been heard by the Health Committee in due course with the proper referrals and changed to this very form. But instead, that bill was not heard and the short form was used. To me, this seems like procedurally a way to get around what was perhaps a bad referral to have this bill heard in this matter.
Is there Representative Bellotti?
I understand that this is my third time, Mr. Speaker, but
Representative Bellotti, there's a limit on speeches. So further discussion. Representative Kobayashi, second time.
Second time, Mr. Speaker. If consistency is a matter of concern at all at this point, let me point out that there is another bill before us which has the same language, word for word, identical as this bill. This bill is House Bill 2649. The bill starts off with what I had read before. A person may practice midwifery without the license to practice midwifery if the person is, unquote. These two bills have the same exact identical language for about 2 pages. This latter bill, HB 2649, had a 3-committee referral. First, a joint committee referral to Health and Consumer Protection, and then, a referral to Finance. This bill did not move beyond its first reading. Thank you.
Okay, is there further discussion? Representative Bellotti.
Mr. Speaker, recess, please.
Take a recess subject to the call of the chair. Recess. Will the House come to order? Representative Bellotti.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Point of personal privilege.
Please state your point.
Thank you. In some of the discussion by previous speakers, Mr. Speaker, is my intent is being impugned as being the lead who prevented the hearing on House Bill 2649. I will note that it is a decision by the joint committees of Health and Homelessness and CPC. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
All right, members, is there further discussion? Okay, if not, we'll be taking a voice vote on this motion. All those in favor of the motion, say aye. All opposed, say no. All right, the chair's ruling is that the noes have prevailed. Motion is defeated. Okay, members, we're on item 6. Mr. Clerk, are there any resolutions for action?
Mr. Speaker, there are no resolutions for action. May all others be referred to print.
So ordered. Members, are there any announcements? Representative Nakamura.
Tomorrow, Lieutenant Governor Sylvia Luke, the Hawaii Food Bank, and the University of Hawaii women's basketball team will launch the 25th annual State Employees Food Drive. From 1999, state employees have contributed over $3 million and 1.7 million pounds of food. Please join Lieutenant Governor tomorrow at 7 p.m. for the game, or visit hawaiifoodbank.com/state to learn more information and get involved. We look forward to working together as state employees to fight against hunger in Hawaii.
Are there additional announcements, members? If not, for the motion to adjourn, Representative
Mr. Speaker.
Representative Capella,
Sorry, I would just like to ask for a point of personal privilege.
please state your point.
Earlier in today's hearing, a member of this floor had incorrectly quoted an executive leader of the State Foundation for Culture and the Arts. And I think that there's an issue on this floor with manipulating words. And I think that if we're going to quote someone, we should quote them in full. And during that committee, she actually said that in the past, the SFCA has excluded Native Hawaiians, but in the most recent years, we have made major intentional moves to increase our support and break down barriers, and our support for Native Hawaiians is now increased to 78% of their budgetary support. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Holt. Are there further announcements, members? If not, Representative Morikawa.
Mr. Speaker, I move that this House stand adjourned until 12 o'clock noon Tuesday.
Representative Garcia.
Mr. Speaker, I second the motion.
All those in favor say aye. All opposed say no. The motion is carried. The House stands adjourned until 12 noon Tuesday.